We are, we are oneself. Just now, we have been always ourselves. We will be always ourselves. So, the question is not who we are, but how not to feel like being glued in something else. It looks like we suffer from this and that, but really make it a deep, it's even more than a deep conviction, realize that it looks like only. And who knows, there is no trick. Yet one may say, when one feels having the knowledge is himself, and too feels totally into this samsaric wheel, as he goes on playing that, he can play to stop it, to drop it, not to love it, because of some dear images or past experience. Just stop it. And because of that stop of the wheel, somehow, at once, simultaneously, the rest, the abidance in oneself is there. And not to make it a glimpse, just see how this silent shape takes another shape into maybe a movement of feelings or whatever. But don't go back, don't check how before the silence I left myself there. Allow the benefit of the total abidance to make things maybe change shape, so that what will come, what will appear, may just appear differently. Allow this breathing. Things go on changing. You only fix them in reminding, in going to your memory, oh, this is taken for granted, I live this, and so, logically, it goes on in the same tunnel. Stop. And then, leave what's presenting itself. Don't try to check yourself to be always the same in appearance. Be free. Anyway. Once upon a time I was like this, and so we give a base to our existence. No, not like that. There was never once upon a time. This has to be dropped. this is the description and approach to what is to live the present. To live the present, in fact, is when you are. Then life presents itself in the present. I am a Mahalayan.
I'm a tiger.
It is our attachment to images which makes trouble. Because we think if we are not attached, we will necessarily lose what represents the image. That's a false logic, a logic from illusion. So we bound oneself twice, attachment because of a fear, instead of dropping the dearness to a certain image, and then we see nothing is lost, in the contrary. You want to go in the fire?
Oh, okay. I want to go in the fire also.
They're open, no? Overcooked. Okay.
It's difficult to drop attachment, it's easy to say.
I know.
In one way or other, I'm always attached to somebody who's dear or near to you, like now, for instance, now with Kopika there's an unattachment, but I don't feel happy with it. I'm already looking for somebody else. Because also the society is like that. You see couples, like I talk now about relationship. You see couples around, and I'm living alone now. I don't find it natural to cook for yourself and to only be for yourself in the town and to. I would like to be attached, you know, just to. So it is very easy to.
You see.
To say it, but in reality, to live it also here with my friends, I see everybody looking for.
Yeah. You see, Mahadevi, it's true that to be freed from attachment, it's a commitment, unusual commitment, in the sense that it doesn't bring necessarily a comfortable life with feelings who is fitting like others live. It's something else, you see, it's a search of something else. It's a craziness. I would say it's a metaphysical craziness, which has a good result in a way, because when that search goes, somehow dramas in their depth stop. Huh? Now, about what you say, I agree, it's not comfortable to, if you take the feelings and the examples of the society, let it be even the Sangha as a society,
Yeah, the Sangha.
let it be whatever, we left the world, ordinary world, let's say, but we are in the world too. The Sangha is the world. When we speak of relationship, it is the world. So even here, if you listen to those feelings, it brings suffering as it was when we were in the so-called world. That's what we say in freedom. You cannot follow those directions. Otherwise you're bound to suffer. Because now you suffer because of a lack of attachment, and as your past experience showed, when you are attached, you will suffer because it will go away or whatever, it will change.
Yeah, so on this point I think I'm crazy.
You become crazy.
Now on this point I think, what for the fuck am I looking for? What?
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Freedom means have the guts to really turn your back to your dear attachments. I don't think there is another way. Even if you have those feelings of loneliness and all those things. Take this, but for that you have to be convinced that it's worth. You see, that search is worthwhile. Otherwise you will like toffees, like you described, instead of the real thing. You can go on with toffees, but you know the world. You know it. You enjoy a time, and it's not eternal. It is like this. Or you enjoy a time, and it goes, or you miss it, and you suffer for the miss, and there is no way. If you follow feelings, you enter into wheels, samsaric wheels. So make it, or go this way, nobody stops. But otherwise, about freedom, you have to be convinced that there is no way out about being freed from real suffering. I don't say, since we have a body and mind still appearing alive, there will be punctual bites, but without trace. But to follow feelings, you enter in apparent real suffering. You see. Here we say we have to be a lion. Alone in your own way, whatever likings, all these gut things and physical demands ask for. One day you have to say no. I know that, but it's enough.
But I am there now.
Yeah.
Bas, enough. I've had it. Bas.
Yeah, but
I'm suffering. It is not that I feel free. So I'm somewhat in this pattern, and also in the Sangha. I'm here in the Sangha because I was so lonely in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So maybe there is another attachment. Or
No, I will just deal with, okay, you have the knowledge that it's bath, but it's
Yeah.
the knowledge, and I can say yesterday, I would say today also, knowledge will not do. You see, it's a must to have the knowledge, the conviction, oh, if I go this way, sure, I'm in samsara. I enter into difficulties. I put a distance with myself. It looks like I put a distance with myself. To realize, that's what I say, once you have this knowledge, it's like, swimming, you see, you learn on a chair, we do like this, you know very well. But at some point you have to jump into the water. This is realization. You leave the knowledge behind, and there is a risk, because you will see, you say, okay, I know perfectly now, but now it's another thing to jump. This is realization. Take the risk. And I also tell there is no risk, because you already are it. But you veil it with this knowledge now, which was un mal nécessaire. Comment on dit un mal nécessaire?
Necessary harm.
Necessary harm.
Necessary evil.
I wish I could jump, but you cannot do it.
I cannot do it for you.
No, I know,
But you can do it for you.
you think so.
Means, yes, means understand also, it's not a jump. It's just not to go along with your feelings. Even this is a conviction, you see, I am not here, because you want to feel it as you, this is your experience of life. It's to feel, to know, etc., but also to feel. So you think that realization, you will feel yourself. You will not feel yourself. There is no mean. You just are it. So don't try to feel it. It's a big trap, the one things you will maybe have the identification, but at least you will feel you are yourself, you are not what you appear. It's not like that. It's not like that. You will not feel who you are. You are it. I cannot say more. I mean, nobody so far can. So don't think it will be in the shape of a known experience. So don't worry, you see, like this. You don't worry just for a moment. This habit of, if you just stay like this, you see, but this liking to exist, to feel, to this travels, this present moment.
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm just walking after a mirage, that it doesn't really exist, Especially when I'm not in the Sangha and I don't try to explain anymore.
Everybody will tell you, but what are you talking about? I mean, of course. It's a madness, I tell you. It's a metaphysical madness, and yet it's a blessing, not to put religious feeling about that. It's a blessing because once you solve, you drop this madness, somehow you are freed from, I will not say, you are freed from search, whatsoever. And it's a pain. It's worth. That's all I can say. And some have told this is keeping quiet. Same.
Well, Kabir said it very poetic. That he is longing for God, and I feel the same.
Yeah,
I cannot do nothing,
yeah.
and still I feel I'm not at home.
Yeah, you know,
So-
here there must be, but you don't see, but there must be some idea about what is realization.
Yeah,
Yeah. And this I advise, for example, in satsang, to put them out.
the idea.
Like you speak, it's a way to put it out. So know that you must have some conviction, some attachment to how it should be, how life should be when one is realized.
Yeah, I think all the problems are gone. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's such a false way, an illusory way. Because you know, when you say that all the problems are gone, the mind understands it in his way. Oh, I will be always happy, or whatever. He makes conclusions, logical conclusions. And in fact, it's not like that. Here, of course, the words are poor. The only thing we can say is that it's no happiness and it's no suffering. It's much better. It embraces all moods or modes of consciousness. And it gives much more peace, silence, than just to be happy, for example. I tell you. So, you cannot imagine what it is. You can take the image of the Ganga. The Ganga, you can say, oh, it's cold, oh, it's alive, oh, it's beautiful, oh, it's blue. You see? But in fact, the real Ganga is fluidity. It carries stones. It carries everything. So I would say the understanding of the mind was to say it's cold, it's blue, it's this and that. And the realization is just go along with it, and everything is embraced in it. You see? So like that. It's just an analogy. You don't miss anything.
I must be have some idea how it is.
That's what I say. You don't miss anything. You will appear the same. But you will not miss anything. If a conviction appears to you, you just drop it. Even if it is dear and unbelievable that you have to drop. Don't care. Drop it. Sometimes the feeling of unworthiness also doesn't allow oneself to just be as he is. Anything will feel, anything.
So it is the point not to know it, but to realize it.
Absolutely. Now you know this, now do it. It's not into knowledge. You see this knowledge you find in books. I am amazed sometimes to read excellent book about it. I mean, they go so far and more. I think people get more and more subtle and they really deep into this. And they can say amazing thing about, or in a most accurate way about it. And yet it doesn't mean that they realize. It's not about understanding, it's not about knowledge. It's not about transformations. You will appear like this once you realize and so on. No, it's not about all those things. That's why you see it's like an impossibility to give a clue, because what we have in hands, we know it. This is in our knowledge. It is into the existence. Existence is made by the things we know, with the senses and the mind and so on. And all this is embraced by what is, what's real. So there is no mean, there is no bridge. No means, you say, maybe. No means. No bridge. Is just, if you can realize it, is just to keep quiet where you already are, before you enter into this play, lila or maya, according to your suffering or joy.
Yeah, no balls.
Yeah. So, okay, you have the knowledge of both. Now go, drop knowledge. Drop the knowledge. Where do you rest? You see, you speak about yourself about knowledge. It's not about knowledge. And so far what you know is knowledge. So it's not about knowledge. Maybe like this, if you will click. You see, if you ask me, I don't know. But one, it is trouble not to know.
Well, I feel that you are it.
Yeah, okay.
That is
But
why
I
I
just
say-
want to tell you about this knowledge. I don't know what it is. But the consequences of realization about this non-knowledge is that you are quiet. It's not that you fall into not knowing and then you get depressed or whatever, or nihilist, or or about knowledge and then you get so learning.
Yeah, that is what I came to know now that I saw it.
Okay, great.
This time behind me I thought, well, I'm not realized because I'm suffering, as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And I come to you, I come again and again to you because I feel, or I don't know how, but somehow you are it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what, but I see it in a way of how you live your life. It is light and whatever words you put on it. But, so
it gives you.
It gives me.
You know that you also can realize that.
Yeah.
Okay,
I give myself a big chance.
Yeah, sure.
And I also will not give up.
Good.
I'm very firm in.
Yes.
So, and I feel very much helped by the Sangha.
Yeah, but Mahadevi, now we came to a point which was important. Let's forget, because you have a tendency to replace yourself always in the same pattern, I must say. Huh? Because it's not the first time that I know that you are fiery and firm, you will not give up. At the same time you know it, but you don't know it, etc.
Yeah.
It's not the first time I hear this. And I believe you, it's your experience. But you see, now it's time to drop this pattern, because now this is known to you. Mahadevi now has this shape. You don't allow yourself to be freed from this pattern. Spiritual pattern, in fact. You see? So when we just spoke about knowledge, I cannot repeat, but I think you got a taste. This is a chance not to take your talk back. Just 2 minutes after, you go back to your path. Why?
Yeah.
You see? So that's what I said in the beginning. Once you rest in yourself, you don't know how, and never worry about that. If it happens, it happens. Don't make it a glimpse. Make it alive. Means once the silence, because silence is also a shape of that. Silence is not that. Silence is as activity, a shape of that. Once this silence goes into talk, into activity, don't take your talk you left behind, back, maybe you will speak differently. Maybe you will see things differently. But our pattern is like a good student. You see, he goes to the course, and then he's a bit distracted with his friends, and then he's serious. So he says, "So where I was, let's go back to my study." It's not like that here. Never go back. Whatever it is, even if it looks like realization, never go back. I would be totally lost if I referred to my experience of realization. I don't go back. It's a terrible, terrible illusion. Present, present, present. Whatever it is. That's a free meeting, you see. Well, but maybe they are, well, that some say they are wiser because they don't have those craziness. But anyway. Yeah, you're Santia. Look at him from behind, he's amazing. His brain looks like a little small thing. It's quite, it's so fun. He transforms that into feelings. He enjoys, probably enjoys, eh? But it's unconscious feeling in a way. And keeping quiet is not to transform it into anything. That's really keeping quiet. Well, that's given to human beings to realize. Anyway, I don't know about you.